Buenos días, chicos. Yo soy su maestro Jack. You can call me Mr. Espinosa. Hoy vamos a hablar sobre el clima. This class will help us to practice conversations about the weather in Spanish. So let's go over the lesson objectives. So the lesson objectives for today are simple and clear. First, we want to practice having a conversation using the weather vocabulary, and then we will focus on answering and asking questions about the weather, which helps make our conversations feel real. And finally, we will work on speaking fluently and pronouncing words correctly as we describe different weather scenarios. So let's go to slide number 3, examen oral. So for the oral exam, we are going to participate in a conversation. You will be talking with Rodrigo, answering his questions about the weather. Try to respond fully to each questions he asks using the weather terms that we already learned. Let's go to slide número 4. So in this conversation, your job is to answer each questions that Rodrigo asks you about the weather. For each response, make sure to include details using the weather vocabulary that we already did. Remember to respond to each questions thoughtfully and with complete sentences. So when you finish, record your responses on Seesaw. Make sure to double check your recording to ensure all your answers are clear and complete. Be specific and use full sentences in responses. You will be graded on how well you use vocabulary, pronunciation, and overall the flow of your conversation. So let's go to the rubric. This is how you will be graded for the oral exam using 4 main criteria. So for the vocabulary usage, this is about how well you use the word vocabulary to earn the highest score of 5 points. You should use a strong variety of terms we learned, showing that you can describe weather in detail and naturally, using a mix of words like hace sol, está lloviendo, or hace frío, instead of repeating the same terms, would help you here. A score of 3 means that you use some of the weather terms, but maybe repeated a few or didn't use as many. A score of 1 means that you didn't use enough of the weather vocabulary or use terms incorrectly. So now let's go with the pronunciation. For the pronunciation, a score of 5 points means that your words are clear and easy to understand, which sounds that are accurate and close to the native pronunciation. If you make minor errors, but they don't affect your understanding, you might get a score of 3. If pronunciation errors make it hard to understand your responses, you will receive a score of close to 1. So let's go with the third part, which is fluency. So fluency refers to how smoothly you speak. To earn a score of 5 points, aim for a natural flow. We have many pauses. With no pauses basically, or hesitations, you're gonna get a score of 5. If you have a few pauses, but mostly keep a natural pace, that will likely to be a score of 3. If there are frequent pauses that interrupt the flow of the conversation, make it sound choppy or hard to understand, you will receive a score closer to 1. So let's go with the last part of the rubric, which is language control. This is about the sentence structure in grammar. To score 5 points, you should use complete sentences with minimal grammar errors. Small errors are fine if they don't interfere with your response. A score of 3 means that you have some errors, but your overall message is still understandable. If errors make it hard to understand your responses, this will result in a score of closer to 1. So each of these 5 criteria can get you 5 points, totaling in 20 points possible. Try to be as detailed and clear as possible using everything we practice it. Good luck, guys. And remember to review the rubric if you need more guidance. So let's go with the slide number 6. So this is that. So for this part, I have an example for you, so you can see how the interaction should look like. I will be the person asking the questions, and my friend will demonstrate how to answer them. This way you can get a clear idea of what a conversation should look like. Okay, wait a second, guys. Okay. Give me a second, guys. I have a little trouble here. Let's see if this is, let me do that. Oh, great. This let me do that. Okay, let's watch. Hola, ¿cómo está el clima donde estás hoy?
Hola, el clima es bueno y hace frío.
Ah, suena bien. ¿Sabes cómo estará el clima mañana?
El clima mañana será frío y hará sol, así que tengo que usar suéter.
Qué interesante. ¿Recuerdas un día reciente cuando el clima fue extremo?
Sí, ayer hacía mucho viento y mucho frío.
Eso suena intenso. ¿Y qué tiempo prefieres, calor o frío?
Yo prefiero el frío porque puedo usar suéter.
Qué bien. Entonces, ¿cuál es el clima perfecto para ti y qué harías en ese día?
El clima perfecto sería frío porque puedo tomar chocolate caliente.
Suena muy divertido. Adiós.
Adiós.
Okay, guys, so this is my end product. So this is like a sample that I have it ready for you. So we're gonna skip that video. We don't wanna do it again. We don't wanna see it again. Okay, let's go to the next slide about the recording instructions. So you're gonna go to Seesaw and start recording your responses to each question in the conversation. Speak clearly, use the weather vocabulary effectively, and focus on accurate pronunciation. And please don't forget to listen to your recording once you are done to make sure your answers flow naturally and address each questions fully. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions about the instructions of this assignment or anything else, please let me know. Thank you.